Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. I've been asked to do a look at the DMS missions folder and how to change and what to change in there. So then your missions can look like this, which is one of my oldest servers, which had multiple missions on it. Obviously the missions are the little red ones, not the oranges or blues. I will show you how to put them in the next video. This is just going on these missions, which are all around. Right, so you're going to go to, I'll put the links in the description. You're going to go to Exile website, and you're going to download you're going to go to here and click on GitHub. Scroll right up, and you're going to click on clone and download. If you followed my videos already, then you'll already have this in your folder, because we've already put it in there previous to this. But if not, then you go into your Exile server after you've downloaded it, go into add-ons, and then just simply drag and drop it straight in. Like, I know this isn't it, but just drag and drop the PBO straight in and it will be right there. Once you've done that, right click on it, go to PBO manager and open. I've obviously already got it open, so it's already there. Double click on it. You're going to go into config SQF, which I've already got open. Yep. Right, we're going to go all the way to the top. I'm going to simply show you what I've got, what I change. You know, this is completely down to you. If you change other things, I mean, I've sat here for hours looking through this and seeing what I can change, what I can't change, and these are just the simple things that I change. It's nothing big, it's nothing amazing. If you want to go ahead and change something else, then you do that. So it's on your terms. The only thing that I really change is this number here. I will check. This is the maximum number of bandit missions running at the same time. So bandit missions, if I scroll down, these are all the bandit missions. So I think there's about 13 there. I think. No, it doesn't tell you, does it? Oh yeah. Nope, doesn't tell you. Right. So yeah, there's probably about 20 or so missions there. So like missions running at the same time. I mean, depending on how many people you've got on your server as well. So I mean, if it's just you and a couple of friends, then I'd probably say about eight missions. Or bearing in mind, the more missions you have on there, the laggier it's going to get. If you've not got a decent computer, then it's gonna end up really chugging your computer. And so I'd probably say about 4 or something, or 5. I mean, it will, you know, once a mission ends, it will get rid of the previous mission for you once you completed, and then it will put another mission on straight away. So you know, it's a bonus. But right, I'll change that. If you have static missions, depending on what map you're using, Altus, Tanoa, Stratus, Australia, or whatever it is you're using, which I'm not too sure if there's any static missions for Australia actually, then excuse me, then you can change this just the same as this one. So I'll probably change that to like 2 or something if there is on any on there. I know with Tanoa and Altus, I think there is about 3 or 4 static missions, so you might want to tick them on as well. So possibly bump it up to like 3 or something. I've got it as 1 at the moment because of the map I'm using, and I didn't really want any on there, so I'm not really changing much on here. Right, so going down, I don't change nothing else down here. If you do want to change your settings to my settings, like all the numbers here, if they are different, then go ahead and change that. It might make a difference on yours, it might not. Always make a backup just in case you don't like my settings, and you can revert back to it. Just delete the one that you've just copied over and then put the original back in, like I always tell you. But yeah, going down, I mean, just pause if you are copying whatever it is I'm doing. We're going to keep going down. Let's have a look. What else do I change? Like I said, this number of bandit missions. Oh yeah, this is the number of bandit missions on start. So I've got it set as 1, like up the top. So I would go ahead and change this to whatever number I've put at the top. So if I've changed it to 3, I'll change that to 3 as well. Moving down, Obviously, bearing in mind that this is going to look completely different to yours. This bit will look the same. This bit down here will probably look empty compared to mine, with yours. That is because I use this file for all my various maps, so Altus and Tanoa, and I change this out with them maps. So I've always added the various static missions and things like that. So these are all things that you'd have to download. If you are going to download them, you would get them from just typing in Google, and it'll probably take you to the Exile downloads thing in this website. But it's easy enough to install. They do give you like a little instructions thing with it as well. What else is there? Don't change any of this. There is an important bit in a minute. If you use drones, then if you scroll down to this part here, this is what everybody gets stuck on. Everybody has mixed opinions on this, and everybody has faults with this. Some people do, some people don't. Change your settings of all this part to false. Copy exactly what I've got here. So false, 3,500, 3,500, false, 0, and false. If you don't like these settings, if you've got an opinion about these settings, how I've got them set, then by all means do it how you want to do it. But I'm just simply saying, copy these settings, because I have no problems with these. I can fly drones around. If you've set your server up to how I've told you to set the server up in the other videos, then you will be able to fly drones if you've put these like this and you've not changed nothing else in any settings. Because sometimes people have problems with their drones. They freeze up after like a few thousand meters or a few hundred meters. But yeah, I have no problems on any of my servers with these ticked to how they are. It unfreezes all the viewing distances and everything. It's how I get it working anyway. Scrolling down, I don't think there's much more that I change apart from them two top ones where you change the amount of missions. Obviously all this is interchangeable as well. If you have say if you've got cup installed, or what else is there, RHS or something like that, and you want the NPCs to have them kits, you would go into your just hypothetically saying here you would go into your go into here, and you would go down to, oh no, wrong one. Don't want to go in that one. I want a vehicle for a bit of clothing. Vehicles, weapons. Weapons? Can't remember now. Yeah, uniforms. So you'd go into here and just simply copy and paste all them lot straight into like their clothing. So, and then they would use their clothing. Always make sure that you put a comma back down the bottom, or else if you miss that comma out and you just go ahead and paste them in there, then obviously it's not going to read it properly because you haven't got a comma. It's not telling the program to follow on down, kind of thing. Obviously do bear in mind that if you are going to copy RHS into there, or cup, or whatever else you're using, make sure you've got the actual mod installed on your server itself. Make sure it's one of the things that you're using as one of your mods. Same goes with plate carriers and backpacks and all that kind of stuff. Pistols, if you want them to use different guns. Same scenario, you know, optics as well. Bearing in mind that if you kill these NPCs as well, you will be picking up these things. So if you've got other people coming in your server, you will, they'll get, if you put decent high-end stuff on these NPCs, they'll end up killing them. They'll get high graded stuff. So could be a winner, could be a loser for you, server. Depends how much of good stuff you want people to have. Scrolling down, I think there was only another thing that I changed on here. Time rockets. Yada 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 yada. Vehicles. So you can add vehicles as well, same way as the clothing, exactly the same. Normally I add in I've had a tank on here, which I added on one of the enemy tanks. Obviously make sure it's enemy and not normal NATO. Make sure it's the green or purples in, not purple, sorry, because that's civilian. Green and... Ooh, can't remember what the other colour was now in the editor. But yeah, make sure you put an enemy vehicle in here, and then obviously it will register that. But yeah, like I say, I've had a armed tank, and it's been blasting the crap out of everybody. Quite hard to kill as well, so that's a bonus. Gives a bit more of a thing for the server. Scrolling down, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's all that I change in this. I thought there was another thing, but no, that's pretty much it. So going back over that again. So the main things that I change is the number here, to how many missions you want. The static missions, probably just leave it on 1 for now. But your bandit missions, change that up to 2, 3, 4, depending on how many you want and how many people you got on your server. If you're just yourself, maybe just stick it on a couple. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that part. Going into, let me just go back. Oh, sorry, back into server add-ons. Right, the other bit that I change is go into missions. I think it was, yep, missions, and then go into bandits. I think. Let me just check. Uden. Yep. All of them. Yeah, Lost Battalion. Let me just have a look a minute. Sorry, bear with me. See, hunters. Hunter. Yeah, there we go. Right, so the other things that I change in the missions folder in the bandit section is I've been through every one of these and I've changed it so then I've got different cars that instead of having like the hatchbacks and stuff that you get at the end of the missions, I've changed it so then I'll get the hunter with a gun on the top, a HMG, and by doing that, obviously the same scenario as when I told you to be in here and change their outfits, or obviously it's not going to be an outfit this time, it's going to be a vehicle, so you go into the vehicle section, you're going to make sure that that's on your server, copy and paste the part that you're going to put in there, so the HMG, or, you know, the vehicle make or whatever it is, and put that in. Oh shit! And then put that into there. I'll just show you, just for argument's sake. Here we go. Just say we're going into. Oh no, sorry, wrong bit. Going to Australia and Cup. Then we're going to go all the way down to, say, yeah, say, what's this, Cup Time? Yes, it's Cup Time vehicles. So, say you want a Ridgeback, you'd copy that whole part in. Obviously, don't forget your little comma as well. Oops. you'd copy that whole part in and copy and paste it into there. There's two parts that I found in here. There's this part here, and this part here. And just change it anywhere basically. Just come up the top, press find, and obviously just move that out of the way. Just it'll find every part that it needs to be in. So you just copy and paste it into each of them parts, which is probably easier. Only other thing that I think I changed in these folders is change all the I think it was, if memory serves me right, because it's been a while since I've done this part now, I think it was a cargo it said in here before. This is the supply box that you get for all the weapons and stuff that's you get as your prize kind of thing at the end. You get a vehicle and then you get your box at the end. Change it to this. It'll always be in the same position in each of the folders that you go in here. It'll always just search it, go up the top, press search, find, and then I think I'm pretty sure it was cargo. Type in cargo, then it should say something about like this spawn crate, and then just literally change that part right there to this. And if you've got things like what is it called? I can't remember what it's called now. It's been a while since I've done this, guys, so just bear with me. Most of the time I just copy and paste things right over. R3F logistics. If you've got that installed, I'll show you how to install this on another video. Then you can pick things up, move it around, load it into vehicles, things like that. It makes it easier if it's this crate, because it just makes it easier. But I've always found it makes it easier with that one, because that one's in the list. That's on the logistics mod. But we'll get into that in a different time. Or you could just go ahead and just leave this how it is, if you want to leave it how it is. I think I'm just kind of waffling on now. But I think that's pretty much it for that. But oh yeah, the changing of how many units. So I always change this part here. This part is like all the mission types. So easy, moderate, difficult, hardcore. For some reason I haven't changed these ones. I don't understand why. I always change these. I always up the weapons and the items. So if you want to go ahead and copy these, normally these are the same as well down here, but for some reason I've missed these ones by accident. Don't know why. But yeah, change all them, and your amount of AIs as well which spawn in is obviously on each one. So I've put 20 on here, 21, 22 for difficult, 24 for hardcore, and that's it for that one. I think you can delete some of these missions as well if you want to. Obviously normally it has all these, but I've taken a load off and I've just kept it with 3, or 4 even. Yep, 4. But it's pretty much the same in all of these. Humanitarian supplies as well. So we'll click into that one just so I can show you. Sometimes it doesn't come up with like to change the amount of weapons and stuff that are in here. This one obviously does. Same with the vehicles as well. Sometimes there isn't any vehicles in there to add or change. I'm not too sure how you add them in, because I've never actually tried. I think this is a prime example. I think this is one of missions where you can't add vehicles. Don't think so. No. I know. What's this? Weapons. Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, right here. Vehicle. But you can change that if you want. And supply box there as well. Showed you before. And number of AIs, you can change that as well. I've got it at 21. So, I think these are set at like 3 or 4 maybe at the beginnings. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for DMS missions. Obviously, if you add a new map, sometimes I've found that if you go into it won't load the map up. So like your server will go to load up, like there's a little box. It'll go to load the server up like this, and it'll start coming up with loads of crap down here, like, I don't know, you haven't got something installed, or blah de blah, something's not reading something. And 9 times out of 10, if it's something to do, if it says DMS missions, then it's probably because you haven't got the map configs in there. So go into map configs, which is obviously just inside the DMS folder settings, go in there, and in here it might not have, like, I don't know, like in here, have we got, so yeah, so it hasn't got Chernarus 2035 in here. So with that, I would simply copy and paste this one, and then just literally change the name to 2025 on the end. Or if you've got an Australia one, which I've already got one, just simply change it, and you should be good to go, because it just positions everything to the middle. Yeah, it should be good. You should be good on that one. But that's pretty much it. I mean, after you've done that, obviously don't forget to re-PBO it back up. So click. I don't need to because I've already done it. Apart from that, guys, I think you're good to go on that. So I hope you've all learnt something. If I did waffle on in places, then sorry. If you didn't get it, then if you go on the on my YouTube page, onto look, YouTube, yeah. If you go on to my channel and go on about, then there is my Discord channel. Just add me up on there, type to me and message me, and I will try and help as much as I can and explain without trying to waffle on. But yeah, cheers for watching, guys, and might actually help if I had it on the screen when I showed you. Yeah, my Discord channel is on my YouTube channel, which is right there. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching.